5 Minutes Funnier is back. Hi, and welcome to 5 Minutes Funnier, the comedy how-to. I'm your host, Jimmy England, with more tips, tricks, and hacks on making you a better comedian. Now, when you go on stage, are you in the moment, or are you like the football game that's playing on the TV? It's there, it's going on, and it's just not recognizing what's happening in the room whatsoever. Or are you there and you are improvising with the audience, you're having a little FaceTime with them, or you're making comments about things that are happening within the venue or on the performances that night. This is known as being in the moment. You are there. You are clearly integrated into what's going on. You're not just going on stage, doing your act, and then stepping off. There's several different ways of doing it. And one of them, of course, is the obvious, and that is to have interactions with the audience, to say things to the audience, get them to say things back to you, and they know you're there. You become one of the audience when you interact with the audience that way. But there's other ways you can be in the moment. For instance, if somebody has said something earlier and maybe they're talking about being a student and they're making some jokes about their teacher and what have you, and you come out and you open up and say about how you're a teacher and you had this terrible student, and you're obviously referencing the other comedian, that's being in the moment. You understand what has gone on before you, and you're saying to the audience, look, I'm kidding around here about this person. That's the way I generally do things, because I'm not a good improv performer. I've done improv classes and what have you, and sure, I can do that, but unless I can do it really, really well, I don't want to go on stage and try and learn my craft at age 75, because I'm not fast enough. It's not going to happen. Now, one quick thing to tell you is if you cannot reference an act that was on 8 stops before you on an open mic night, because chances are by the time they get to you, they will not remember that person, and that will be it. You have to be somebody who was on just before you, or maybe one before there, or maybe something the host has just said. That connection says to the audience, I was paying attention, I just wasn't in the back room doing whatever. And as a result, they love that. They feel like I am one of them as well. So it's a way I do it without having to get myself all wound up. By the way, credit where credit is due. I learned this from Manolis Zontanos here in Hamilton. He's the godfather of comedy. Very, very good. I've learned a lot from him. And yeah, it's a technique he uses, and I now use it too, and it works. It just really works. Another way you can be in the moment is if you're doing your material and you reach a point where you can put a name in there, and you can insert one of the other comedians' names in there, then boom. I do a joke now at Christmas talking about how inflatables are very popular now, and that everybody's got one. And then I'll say the host's name, and yeah, Larry's even got one. He calls her Brenda. Within the context of the material, it gets the laugh. It puts whoever into that moment with me. That being said, I don't stay in the moment. I do go into my act, because that is where my comfort zone is. I know it extremely well. I know it's going to work. But if I can find a way to open and somehow integrate myself into what's going on, into the club, into the bar, wherever I happen to be performing, my act will go over much, much better. So it's a good little trick that you can use if you want to be in the moment. I'm Jimmy England, and that's all I've got for this week. As always, please subscribe and give us a like if you would. That really helps us with other comedians learning about us. And share us with them, please. Please do that. And as always, stay funny, everybody.